Hey guys, how's it going? Ooh, barely made it there. Good to see you all. Sorry for the delay from yesterday and then this morning. Just been a little busy around here with end of the year stuff, but I need to get my second camera on and I'm just putting a few beads into other places while I do that, but I'm gonna let people jump on and say no. We had a little bit of a delay. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. If my dogs start barking their heads off, it's because my husband comes and goes throughout the day. He's a real estate agent, so he might be in or out, and then the dogs might bark. So I'm going to make a little note that if I'm muted, the dogs are barking. That way, you guys won't wonder where I'm at. But I think that's all I really needed to do. I should go find the link for you guys for the gem duos because that's the main thing we're working with today. If you're out there watching, live or after, hello. Hope you're doing well. And if this is your first, if this is your first time here, I really appreciate if you see things that you like enough to subscribe. You want to share with your beading friends. Normally, I'm not set up in my living room. There's a little dog toy sitting on the back. I tried to scan the background before I went live, but clearly I pushed myself over enough you could see the Christmas tree. But it's a little chilly out in my office, and I forgot to turn my heating elements up early enough to get warm. So hello, good to see you. Okay, let's get logged in on the other camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing with this tutorial. I think I just need to find one other bead hiding in my things here. I've got my classic poinsettia sample, and then I've got my, I'm gonna do a blue colorway today for a snowflake because it's plenty snowy in Michigan. 'Tis the season, right? Okay, so enter studio. Try to make sure everything is all set up. Oh, there you go. You can see everything. I'll get that zoomed in there. There we are in business. So this is the project that I'm going to show you guys today, and super simple. It's going to be a quick video. That's why I just decided to do it this morning. I have a 3-hour Zoom video tonight, so it wasn't the most ideal day, but I am using it in this particular case in conjunction with a really beautiful porcelain pendant. But as you can see, the Gem Duo piece really holds its own as well. You wouldn't have to pair it with anything. And then I have a few different things going on. We've got a new collection of Gem Duos we brought back from our Czech Republic trip. And this is one of the new colors that was in the November subscription. So if you're a subscriber, you already got these. If you aren't, I'm going to get them listed hopefully today with a few other items that need to go up on the website. And then we do have these 4mm Drux or round beads listed already, and this may be. So almost all of this particular listing have a precious metal plating on them, and they're extra shiny and gorgeous. This one is the gold AB, which, the AB doesn't always show on every side, but I've got that just a few accents because they're not inexpensive. So I'm going to get right to it here. I am going to be working with the Wildfire thread in a 10-pound. You guys know I love that for a 2-hole bead, and it's not always necessary, but I think with things like this where you are relying on your thread to hold structure too, something a little heavier is not a bad thing. So this is the 10 pound. I'm gonna grab my scissors here. I feel like a fish out of water with my setup being so different. And I just need to find my, had a good needle over here. There we go. If you've been a beader for any period of time, you know when you locate a good needle in your stash, you kind of hang on to that, right? Oh, and even this one's getting bent already, but with the wildfire thread, I really like to give my end of my thread a little bit of a flattening, which you can choose to be smart and use like a pair of pliers, but I'm a little bit not excited about having to wait to find my pliers or grab them and then put them back down. It's a silly thing, but you are going to start with 6 gem duos and you want them to all be going the same direction. So what I mean by that is if you're lining them up on your mat, and I'm going to try actually just to get my light a tiny bit closer. There we go. A little bit brighter there for you guys. That's literally just a couple inches moving the lamp. It's crazy how much difference that can make. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So I've got probably a size 11 needle on my thread in case anybody was wondering. And so that lining the gem duos up with the tops up and the flat side down is going to be a good way to just ensure that they're all going the same direction. And then I'm going to just start poking holes on the same side of each bead. And if they start to get pushed out of order like they are, then you're just going to have to make sure and straighten them back out. Now, this is a bead that comes unstrung. The reason I point that out is because if you are working with 2-hole beads, you are going to want to check the second hole of the part of the bead that you're not stringing currently. Aw, Heather, I know. I still forget sometimes. It's not the end of the world. So if you've got a whole string of them like this, hold them and poke a hole, working back down my other side. So let's see here. And sometimes they're not completely clear, but if your needle will go through, that's really all you're looking for there. You do not need to leave a huge amount of tail, but enough to hold on to is nice to me. And then we're doing a double overhand knot. So that's the second knot that I just pulled down. Just gives you some tension in the middle, something to hang on to. And I would work through a couple of beads, maybe not more than one at a time in a tight situation like this. And I'm using the green color thread because it's probably the closest in value to the color of my beads. And you do have a few spots where you skip your holes of your beads. So this is going to ensure that you're going to have a the least amount of thread showing. And then I'm going to grab a couple, actually just one. You only need one of your 4mm round beads. We're going to go in there. It's sometimes hard to find the hole on a shiny bead like that. And I'm going to skip from, I'm coming out going that direction of this bead, and we're going to go over across the way to go this direction through this bead. So this is going to give you a placement where you're going to reinforce the other holes from the center, and it more evenly distributes the way the bead sets. So it's going to look truly centered versus having any kind of weirdness to how the you can see like there's so many floral attributes to the way these beads interact. It's already very petal-like. And then to get to the next layer, because we've got that center all finished and we're going to need to add more beads along. There's going to be 2 beads inside of the spaces. So I'm coming out of that gem duo. I've been going this way through the center holes. I'm going to go to the outer hole and go the opposite direction. Now, again, same principle applies for, you want the beads to face the same direction. So I'm lining 2 up on my needle. That's the way I'm going. So that's the way I want to add those. And then I'm just going to string them on and double check the holes after that. If I'd really planned ahead, I would have checked the holes in advance of the video, but then I do think it would have given you guys a false sense that they were not needing to be checked on your own projects, which is not the case. And you go all the way around, just adding 2 more of those gem duos between all of your first set. And make sure my camera's still there. And then we're still going to sip some coffee. You guys, I got an almond milk from, is it the Target brand? I don't know, but it's probably got some sugar in it. That's not usually what I look for. I usually look for the unsweetened ones, but that with my coffee, like no other sweetener, is just like a nice balance. So hole check all the way around, no matter how annoying it is. And picking them up off your mat's not the easiest either. So you just have to do what works for you. Ooh, I could feel that knot coming. Do you ever start to pull your thread and go, oh, that's gonna become a knot? So for any of you that are subscribers and watching live or sometime today, which is December 11th, there will be updates today about, I'm going to be listing the companion beads for the subscription. So if you are a current subscriber, you will get a coupon code so that you can add those beads to your subscription order, which will ship out next week between the 14th and the 18th. And this is a little flippy floppy right now, but we're going to be getting into some reinforcement here soon. You can always go around a row if you're feeling like it's a little too wiggly for you. You can always go around a row again. Sorry, some of the beads are running away from me, so I'm having to chase them across my mat. So there's that. And I hope this is helpful for you guys for some last minute holiday gifts or for something to wear throughout the winter. I think it'd make a really cute floral look for the spring if you use non-wintry colors too. The shape of the gem duos just really kind of mimics a snowflake well, I think. So look at that, you guys. So pretty, just all on its own. And then we're going to take our thread. Let's see. I'm going to triple check. The next row involves 2 different things. So this is the last row, and it's tricky is not the right word, but I do need to find my seed bead I wanted to use on this. And apparently throw things around while I'm at it. I saw a certain 15 color, and that's the size you're using. There it is. You are using a size 15 seed bead in this project. This is the galvanized gray luster on our website. We have it in sizes 11, 15, and 8s. And it is by far one of my most beloved silver shades. So if you don't have this in your stash. Oh, Heather, that's such a cute idea. You guys, look at this. like a charm with a tag for a gift. I always forget about all the non-jewelry uses for beadwork, but I love, love, love that idea. Might steal that and throw a few of these on special goodies as well. So what I was trying to figure out is, I think what I want to do, I guess it really does not matter. Okay. So I'm going to go through, I'm coming out of that lower. So I'm going to go through, this would be the first bead you added in the second round, but we're going through the lower hole still. And then we're going to go backwards from the direction we were going and going through the outer hole of the same bead. So where the gem duos are paired up, your outer gem duo is going to lay on its side between those, and that's where your 15s are going to go. Between those sets of two, where I'm at right now, we're going to add a singular gem duo. I decided that I liked the difference with the outer edge, those pairs and individual ones having a different structure, because I think it really mimics a snowflake or a set of petals and leaves on the poinsettias. So adding that, you have to figure out if that gem duo is laying that way, this is the direction that I want to go through that hole of it. And then you're going to add 5 size 15s, which is generally, unless you have a really funky brand of 15, that's generally the quantity that'll go hole to hole on a gem duo. You line everything up there, and then you go down through, you can go through both of the holes on these two beads at the same time. And I'll show all of that one and A and B set of how the beads are added a second time. Aw, thank you, Heather. I'm so glad that you're liking the design. Sorry, I didn't see your other comment. Yes, a larger ornament included on a gift is like giving 2 gifts. So having one smaller little ornament type thing, this is big enough. You can hang it, those little mini trees, it would be really cute to do that. Okay, so one hole, one gem duo, and then go straight through the next, because we're in between those pairs from the previous row, like that. And then you need to pick up this gem duo from this direction. I'm no longer checking holes because I don't need to. Yay. And then 5 of your 15s. And then we're going to pull those all the way down. And we're going to go through. I like to just do both holes, but sometimes it's a little finicky. So the new gem duo hole and then the second in the pair there. And don't freak out if you're not going this direction around your work. It just means you started the other direction. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, I'm not going to take a ton of time to explain every step because it's just a straight repeat, and you can pause and replay if you're watching this after the fact. But I want to get around so I can show you guys the little loop I make for the attachment point, because you can use that little loop. You can make it bigger and stick a ribbon through it. You could put a jump ring through it, or, like I did in my sample, you can wire wrap to it. And this is like, the structure of this is flexible, but laying against something, I think it will lay flat enough. It's not going to flap open. Any more layers and you'd have to start to reinforce this somehow. Like if you were going to go out working further in some way, shape, or form, like if I didn't finish it off the way it is currently. So this was like the perfect size to have like a manageable piece that will hold its structure without any additional layers or reinforcement, but it's not stiff, if that makes sense. Oh, I feel like so far behind this year with holiday prep for the store. I mean, I actually decorated this year, which is not always something that I do. Embarrassingly, it's just not always something that's on my favorite to-do list or the top of my mind when other things are happening, but it felt good to be able to take the time this year just to throw a few things around the store. Some greenery. I like to do like snowflakes and greenery and stuff that looks like icy, because if I'm going to go to the trouble of decorating, I'm not taking it down until at least the end of January. Is everybody else feeling prepared for whatever types of celebrations you have coming up? It's a tricky time of year. I was reading a friend had made a blog post update about how challenging this year feels due to some loss, and try not to get too emotional because I feel like most people I know deal with those kinds of feelings this time of year, and this year especially feels like there's been some heavy loss for most people I know, including our family, but I really appreciated the conversation happening about this, because there's people who I think believe that as long as everything feels and looks perfect, that it makes things better. And I think you can have a really beautifully curated holiday season. You can do lots of things, but if you're forcing yourself because you think it should look like that rather than you're doing things that bring you joy and peace, it's not going to achieve the same effect that you're looking for. So I hope you all, no matter what you are doing over the next month or so, are giving yourselves lots of grace and making sure that the things that you spend your time and energy doing are things that are bringing you peace and joy, and that things that don't do that, just let it go, as they say in the song. Okay. So I'm coming out of, this is the last bead I had to go through in order to add my last new gem duo. So this is the first one I added in this third row. And I go through the bottom hole of that. I'm actually going to work through a couple of beads, the top hole of the next gem duo there. Man, I like working with these big beads. It's easier for you guys to see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to go up through that gem duo. And again, you can reinforce this whole exterior row if you would like. I don't recommend working with a doubled thread because that's just problematic, but getting a second thread all the way around wouldn't be the end of the world. It might help give you more structure. Through 3 beads there. And then going to, so for the size loop I want to do, oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. Oh, my allergies have been crazy this winter. I think it's because it came on so early. All right, we're going to add 5 more 15s. And I'm going to go back the opposite direction I'm coming from. So your thread's coming out this side. I'm going that way through that 15. And it just creates the tiniest little loop. 22 gauge wire fits through this. I'm not going to make any other promises, but I'm going to reinforce that loop because in theory, that's going to get more stress project. And reinforcing just means going through every bead you just added one more time. Now I left that tail thread in the middle on my project, so I had something to hold on to, but I don't believe in, you've already got a knot there. You don't need to create another knot with that tail thread. So once you create a knot with this needle end of your thread, you can trim all of your threads off, in my opinion. So I'm going to go between those two beads with my needle. This is my standard double overhand knot. This would make such a cute layering piece. Like you could do this on a piece of chain and then that was a little bit shorter, and that'd be a really cute necklace. But I love the ornament or gift tag idea. If I make a gift tag with any of these, big if, I will make sure and share with you guys the way that I like attach everything. Just a picture of the finished piece, because I think that that would be helpful information. And for a pendant, I like to take my thread to the back of the work to trim the knot. I just think that it can be helpful in concealing any bits of thread, but this type of scissor I'm using shouldn't give thread pieces too much room to hang out. Yay! I have been wondering ever since I made this design how it would look as a snowflake, and I'm right. I was right. It looks fantastic, but the poinsettia is still really fun. Oh, of course, Heather, if you're new here, we have a pretty active social media presence on Facebook and Instagram. So for photos, things that aren't videos, that's where we would be posting those things. And if you guys haven't joined us before, we have a little area, a little Facebook group, and I'm just going to drop the link in the comments here to keep it simple. Oops. All right, so I'm linking that group in the comments. I apologize in advance if it takes me a minute to let you into the group because it is a private group and Facebook does not notify me the way I would hope they do or that they would. But oh my goodness, you guys, I hope you have so much fun with your Gem Duo projects. And I did go and grab, if I didn't link those already, I got distracted. So let me grab that link because we have all sorts of beautiful colors for you guys to use right now. So that link is below the Facebook group in the comments. And at about 28 minutes in the video, which I guess it probably would show you that as I'm talking, but who knows? Who knows how these things work? Thank you. Thank you for being here, everyone who kind of popped on. It was a bit of a last minute thing, but I wanted to get this in before like the weeks leading into Christmas. You know, like this is still 2 weeks out, I think. Sorry to incite panic in anybody, myself included. But yeah, I think this will be helpful. Hopefully it'll give you a little bit of extra inspiration for some last minute things that you've got going on, or gives you something to do to find some peace and joy in a down moment of your next few weeks of the end of the year. So I don't see you all before. I hope you have a beautiful holiday season and a happy new year, but I'm going to try to get on here again over the next week or two at some point. So, oh, good. Awesome, Heather. I'll go look for you right now and maybe let in the other dozen people that are probably waiting on my approval. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.